Just real quick, those of you that do not know who I am, my name is Angie Harper, and I was one of the very lucky ones to earn the opportunity to head to Park City, Utah 9 weeks ago and be a part of the pre-launch for this incredible weight management system. And so far, I weigh myself on Wednesdays, so I haven't weighed myself yet this week, but I call it weigh-in Wednesday. But as of 8 weeks ago, 8 weeks on the program, I have lost a total of 10 pounds, over 10 inches total in my body, 4.5 of those in my stomach area. And many of you have been following my journey, seen my pictures that were very, very hard for me to share. But looking back, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I took the pictures. I'm glad I took the measurements. And I'm glad I have, that concrete proof that, hey, I've done everything I possibly could do up until this point with my eating, with my exercise. Adding this, guys, was I like to say it flipped a switch inside of my system. I don't even really know how. I have been doing a lot of research on GLP-1, and thanks to, brilliant people like Dr. Brett and all of the doctors we have in our company, I'm learning more and more every day. So we're going to try to keep this short, guys, so people can watch the replay. But I do have some questions for Dr. Brett here. Dr. Brett has been with LifeVantage for, what, 9 years?
Yeah.
8? 9 years.
10.
Yeah. 10. Okay, I've been with 8 and you've been with 10. And he's just a wealth of knowledge. Throughout his career, he has helped countless people on the journey to health and wellness. He is a chiropractor here in Arizona. His father is a chiropractor and a formulator of over 200 natural remedies to help people with their health. So when I say he knows supplements, it's his life. It's been his life for the past, 30 years at least, right? If not longer. And so I think, hearing from somebody like him, and again, I have questions that I'm going to ask, and hopefully he can talk to us, not like we're doctors, right? But like we're soccer moms or football moms in my case. So, Dr. Brett, before I get to the questions, do you have anything you want to say about your background and kind of what excited you about GLP-1? Oh, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Yeah, so actually it's 10 years today.
Oh,
I joined
you're kidding. Happy anniversary.
No, thank you. I actually appreciate you having this conversation because I've been in this field a really long time, and really, it's one thing to teach physicians, what I've done since 1995. It's a whole nother thing to give the information that moms and families need to be successful. Because I've watched so many people struggle and look for solutions to answer and just feel frustrated and worn out by this process. And I've never really had a great answer for weight loss. What I mean by that is that we do the right things, like what you've done. You change the diet, change the stress habits, remove the crap from the diet, have them exercise, and we hope that doing that is enough to get the body's physiology to change where they lose weight. And like you and the experience you've had, like you work out hard, you exercise, you got a husband that's a power lifter, right? You guys eat clean, and you do all these right things. I've watched my own family go through this process, right? And want to have a way to, why is it not working? Why are we doing these things that are not working? And I've watched over the last 5+ years or so where people are using these medications that are also GLP-1 agonists. All that means it's hormone replacement. So this is a hormone your body's supposed to make. If it makes it, your body has more efficiency in how it burns fuel. That's how it works. And so what you noticed in you is I didn't change a whole lot. I was doing the right things, but my body wasn't making the hormones.
Okay, that was
we know that
my first question, actually. So I wanted you to explain to me, like I'm a 5-year-old, what GLP-1 is, and you just did. Say it again.
Yeah. So if the 5-year-old wants food, he tells mom, right? and when you eat food, your body's supposed to say, okay, this is food. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to use it for fuel. Okay, so if you want to have that fuel, it's got to produce this hormone.
So it's a hormone that we all produce in our body naturally.
Correct. So your body's supposed to produce this hormone, and when that hormone's produced, it says, okay, guys, I've got enough food. I don't need any more. I'm going to break this down. So it basically slows your stomach down so it breaks it down more efficiently. But then it tells the rest of your body, say, hey, we've got stuff coming in here. We're going to start actually utilizing this. So guess what? Hey, by the way, we have plenty in our muscle structure. I have plenty in my liver, so we don't need more. I'm just going to use what I have. That's what this hormone does. It regulates all that. And in you, for instance, you didn't change a whole lot, but also now your body's burning what was there because it wasn't making this hormone.
Because it wasn't making this hormone. Would you attribute that to the environment, to oxidative stress, to everything that's bombarding us every
So
day? Or is that just,
there are multiple reasons I believe why our body is not making this. One, as we get older, we don't make as much, but I'm seeing young children, like young people that are diabetic or pre-diabetic. I've been watching this for 10, 15 years.
wow.
And there's a huge population of young people. So I truly believe some of it's environment, right? Some of it's our stress factors. I actually believe a lot of it's in our food,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm not going to go into that depth, but if you crave stuff you know is bad for you, like a cigarette, like a bag of Cheetos, like, and you want it so bad, you got to have it, and you can't quit eating it. Like I just can't have one. That's the slogan of a chip, right? From your, that means there's something in it that that's blocking a receptor or a hormone, maybe this one, to where you're craving it. Right.
Okay.
So the reason why we are where we are is because our hormones are being jacked with. Some of it's our fault. Some of it's just because we're not being protected in the right way. But just know that's what's happening. So that's why we're seeing young people that are going to respond well to this too, because they're not making this hormone either, and they're not older. They're just not making it. So why I'd say more environmental.
Yeah, because I talk to women every day, my circle of women, mid 40s, early 50s, who are making all of the right choices. They're eating clean, they're working out, but the scale just isn't moving and it is beyond frustrating. So I'm going to this doesn't help my eyesight yet. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read the
Yeah.
questions.
No, right?
So, okay, so you explained what GLP-1 is, why we should care about it. I think one of the most often asked questions in this group is from people who are already on the injectable weight loss.
Yeah.
So for those people, and again, guys, we do have at the top section of this group, it's called guides, and guide 13 is everything GLP-1. I know this question is in there, but just for the sake of this live, I'd like to get your answer to this. How can they safely transition from the injectable to this all natural system?
Yeah, and so we kind of give there's some guidelines, right? But again, everybody's can be different, right? But the bottom line, if you're on the injectable and had success on the injectable, that means your body was not making the hormone. All right. And so, and if you had success, it means your body needs this hormone, right? So we want to get your body to make it again. Now, everybody's different and the doses they're on, how long they've been on it, what level of success they've had. So, but if you're on it, the transition period needs to be as you reduce the med and work with your clinician on this or whoever's prescribed it to you. And some people will self-prescribe. So I'm going to give you some ideas, right? And so as you reduce it, you're going to increase this. And so with the MB core, there's 2 capsules you normally take on an empty stomach, and then the powder you drink 4 scoops, right? So what I normally would do is, and someone's transition as they reduce down, I would do half of the one MB core, and then 2 scoops of the enhance.
Oh, okay.
And then as they do, and depend if they're on a really high dose, I might transition where they do 1, and then I do 1 scoop, and then every week dose back a little bit. But it's really dependent. If some people they come off of it, and it's gonna, remember your body. When you give the body a hormone that it's not making it. And now you're asking your body to do something. It's like telling your husband he'd have to do any yard work, and all of a sudden you're telling him he has to do yard work. He's like, well, what do you mean I got to do yard work, right? And so your body is like, well, what do you mean I got to do it again? So give it some time to make that transition. If you've been on this medication, some people for a really long time, your body has gotten pretty lazy, and so that transition for you may be slower, but just know, let's say if you put a little of the weight back on, pay attention to the inches more than the weight.
Yeah.
Okay, please pay attention more, because if you listen to what Angie said, 10 pounds but 10 inches. Yeah. That's significant. So she's strong. I mean, if you met Angie, she'd probably kick my butt. She's super strong, right? But you understand, so her body is building muscle.
Way more than you do.
Now you sound like my wife, okay? But what I'm saying is that her body's becoming efficient. My wife's built very similar to Angie, very strong.
Yeah.
And just understand, your body is going to lose inches. So if you if the weight scale goes up, pay attention to body fat percentage, pay attention to the inches. That's why the media wants you to only look at the scale, okay? Because if you're not losing weight, you're not having success. That's BS. Right? If you're losing inches and you're getting stronger, because on the medication you're getting weaker, right? So please pay attention to those numbers. So as you transition, just know, be patient with yourself. Because as your body's been taking over that function, while it may take you a few weeks to get where that you get that bounce back you want.
So that's why they're saying people on injectable weight loss essentially have to be on it forever, because your body stops, like if they stop the injections, their body stops making GLP-1, so the weight's going to come back on,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. So that's, if you read most of the studies, read most of the books, that they're typically going to have some type of taper dose. A lot of times forever.
Forever. Like
I mean,
that's
that's
just
what they're
crazy.
saying. But again, from a medical model, from a business model, if I can keep you on a medication forever, then
Yeah.
what I want. But it's not what
That's
I
what
want
they
here.
want. So
Yeah.
let's talk about MindBody GLP-1 weight management. If somebody's taking it, I've had this question a
Yep.
lot, and they reach their goal and then they stop it, what's going to happen? Is their GLP-1 going to plummet? Does their body now recognize, oh, I need to create to make GLP-1? Like what's going to
It's
happen? And
a
I
great
know we don't
question.
really have the answer to
Yeah.
that because,
I don't have the exact answer, but I can have a pretty good idea.
okay,
You work out a lot, right? I work out a fair amount too. So if we wanted to get to a certain like physique, we'd probably have to work pretty hard to get there, right? But
okay,
there's probably going to be some type of maintenance that I'm going to need to do to maintain that, or a
yeah,
close level to that. I actually feel like this is going to be very similar. And so if you're using a certain meal plan or an exercise routine or sleep routine, and it's gotten you to a certain level of wellness, I hope you don't stop,
right,
right? And so what I would say is, I really think for a lot of people, like you're managing your health some way, shape, or form by what you eat, how you exercise, how you sleep, and your stress management. So for me, this is going to be one of my management tools, or one of
yeah,
my hacks that I'll probably use long term. And I try to eat clean. So I think, and I'm so grateful to have this, because just as I get older, my body doesn't make the same amount of testosterone. I take certain plants and extracts that actually influence my body's ability. I have to lift more weights. So the same thing is going to be true, I think, in this scenario. So for me and a lot of people, I'd much rather use this as a management tool than
yeah.
the synthetics.
Well, for me, I mean, weight loss has been a great side effect, really. But for me, I think the best thing that I felt is my sleep. Like I am sleeping deeper than I've ever slept in my entire life. And I was reading that increasing your GLP-1 actually can help reset your circadian rhythm. So I know a couple of people in this group, and I always stress, you guys, I stress give your body at least 2 to 3 weeks to really feel this. Like oftentimes we have people, 2 days into it, oh, I have a headache, or oh, I'm tired, or literally anything I put in my body that's new, my body reacts to. That's even skincare, anything. I'm very sensitive to it. So for me, when I started it, I had, I was using the bathroom a lot more than I normally would, but it wasn't like an emergency situation. I just, every time I would go to the bathroom, I was going to the bathroom. But I looked at it like a cleanse, right? I never got headaches, which is weird for me because I always get headaches when I try new things, anything. But so all that to say, we have people on here giving advice that have only really been on it for 2 to 3 days. So I just urge people, let your body do what it is supposed to do. And everybody has a different body. So just because somebody might be having a reaction or somebody might not have any reaction, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the story for everybody. So we really highly encourage people to get this in your system for at least, 2 weeks before making any claims of how it's worked for you, either good or bad, right? Either way. But Brett, so what do you know what's causing the deep sleep? Oh, you're muted again. You're muted again. Yeah, you muted yourself. No. There's a little like mute button. Hmm. You're still muted. You unmuted earlier. Well, maybe I'll just have to take over and be Dr. Brett. So what I was going to ask him was the sleep. I'm not sure if it's something in the MB core or something in the enhance, or maybe it's just that it's raising our GLP-1 and that's causing super, super deep sleep. If you're watching this right now and you are sleeping good, let me know. Just wait. Just wait. Like I go to bed. I can't even stay up late really anymore. I go to bed, I sleep hard, deep REM sleep, and then boom, I wake up. I don't even need an alarm, which for me, that translates rather to energy during the day. If you sleep good, you have energy. You should have a mute button on there, Brett, no? Like the microphone at the bottom? No? Michelle says she thinks it's the magnesium in the powder. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. And Kristen dreams, deep, deep sleep. Yeah. So see, a lot of these people have only been on it a week and they're already seeing the sleep. Mark, you're getting it. Mary, sleeping so well. Jane, yep. Okay, and I only had one more question for him. So, and that was, are there any drug interactions that he's trying, that people should be aware of? And so what I've learned about this natural system is if you can eat food, you can take this system. As we eat, especially high protein diets, that increases your GLP-1, right? So if you're on a certain drug for a certain condition, does your doctor tell you don't eat protein? No, they don't. So if you can eat food, you can take this system. So I think that's important to note. I've had a couple of people with thyroid issues ask again about using this. So I think a lot of people have to rewire your brain and know this is not a GLP-1 drug. Yes, you do have to be careful with GLP-1 synthetic drugs. Same with diabetics on insulin. You are going to want to, keep close eye on your insulin for sure. But yeah, it's not letting them. That's really weird. Okay. I haven't gone split screen live in like years, so maybe it's something, but that's okay. You answered most of the questions, and if there's any other questions, maybe people can drop it here. No, don't do that. Brett's too busy to answer. Go to the guide, look at section 13. There is a Q&A on there with all these questions, or there's a little search area at the top here where you're watching. It's like a magnifying glass. Just put in what you're looking for and it should pop up. So bye, Dr. Brett. Thank you. Do you need to take MB forever? Okay, so we answered that question already. So you're going to have to watch this from the beginning. Put him in yeah, I think we're done though. I wanted to keep it fairly short so people can rewatch it. And I think he answered everything that we needed. I just think I want to, send you guys off with just, a way to talk about it with people. I think that's the key. That's okay, Brett. You answered the questions. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Happy Monday, and we'll do this again another time too. As people are taking this and experiencing it, and they're going to have their own stories. So, again, the admins on here are doing this on a volunteer basis, and it is a full-time job keeping up with posts and comments. And so again, if you have a question, chances are it's been answered already. So I implore you to research and to find the answer. And if you can't, then get with whoever added you here, and they can probably help you too. But we love seeing the before and after pictures. We love seeing the results people are having, and be sure to invite a friend to this group and do this with them, right? Because there's nothing like doing this with a support system around you. So I'm going to weigh myself Wednesday, and I will report back here. And if you haven't scanned your body yet with the body scanner app, the Me 360, I always forget if it's me or I don't know, 360. I urge you to do one scan in week 1. You don't have to scan yourself every week. Do one scan week 1, maybe do 1 week 6, and then 1 week 12. You get 5 free scans, so you're not paying for it. And then if you want to measure in between, you can do that with a measuring tape, but I wouldn't get too bogged down with the scale. Right? I know that's hard. Thank you. It's Me 360. I know it's hard not to get bogged down with that number on the scale, and it is for me too. And if I just was in Kansas City for the weekend and I came home, and normally that scale would be up at least 3 pounds, and it wasn't. I was the same. I didn't lose, but I didn't gain. It was the same. So thanks for watching, everybody. Me 360. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, and take care. We will see you soon.